What is up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with my own review of the Belle Collective. This is the season finale, so let's get into it. We are back at Marie's event where she invited Taisha, the decorator, and Tambra Cherie got up, got demiked, and left. She was not about to give her the energy, and I wasn't mad that she left because, like she said, end of the day, I'm going home with my man, and you can stay here at Marie's event, right? So Akeisha already peeped game of what this situation was. So she got up, addressed the girls, and said, look, this was supposed to be a sisterhood, a bond, a collective, but I got a problem with this and I'm not about to be a part of it, so I'm leaving. Now, Taisha feels the way because it's kind of like you're putting me on the spot because you calling me out. Like I'm not supposed to be here. But like she said, listen, it ain't got nothing to do with you. I'm just not a part of this. And I wasn't even talking to you. I was talking to the other girls, right? But why are you making it seem as if I'm not here? Like you talking about me and I feel like I should say something. But like Akita said, you can talk, but in the day, it ain't gonna mean nothing to me to hear because I'm leaving. I'm gone. You can talk all you want to. And I honestly was all the way with Akeisha with peeping the situation because the fact that Marie want to say Taisha has been her decorator all these years. She did Letitia's wedding. She did Letitia's events, but we've never seen her around before. We've only seen her pop up this season to talk about a emotional connection she had with Amon. So listen, I'm done. Now, Marie said she didn't know the full story about Tambra and the decorator for her to not think that she shouldn't be invited. But I'm like, Marie, for real? For real, you didn't know everything? Like Letitia did not tell you and Latrice about Taisha and Demond at that luncheon. You gonna have to miss me. Um, because listen, I don't know why you're being surprised by Tambra leaving because she's here and we've been talking about this girl for a while now. So I don't know why you didn't connect the two when you invited her and invited Tambra. Taisha said she didn't know Tambra's going to be here. I don't believe you. All this season, we know that whenever there's an event, all the ladies are invited. So you did know at some point you were going to be in the same space with her. So basically, you can miss me. And listen, Akeisha said straight up, I got issues with Tambra. You know what I'm saying? Me and her are not in a good place, but I still feel loyal to this group and I still felt enough of my history with her to know that this is not good, this is not cool, and I don't want to be a part of it. I love that she stood her ground and she said, listen, Taisha didn't come to support Marie and Essie. She came here to confront Tambra. And in the day, she's a side chick to me. So I'm not about to entertain her and she don't need to be a part of my presence. And I stood all the way down with Akeisha for her assessment about Taisha because look what's going to happen in the next couple of minutes. So Letitia automatically opens the door with, let me tell y'all, first of all, I did not invite her. Marie invited her, so don't blame me. I'm like, Letitia, nobody asked you. Nobody pointed you out. The fact that you had to stand up and say, no, don't blame me. I didn't do it. Lets me know you already prepped Taisha on what was going to happen when she came to this event to say that you didn't invite her. But you probably knew she was coming, though. You probably knew. And it's kind of interesting that Marie brought her here based off of the information that you were talking about. So I think that Letitia wanted to hurry up and clear her name, but I felt like you already incriminated yourself when you placed yourself to be the spokesperson for Taisha. And Akeisha wasn't mad for Marie inviting her, but like she said, I don't feel comfortable leaving here. So she left. Letitia, you are full of shit. When she said that she was above the drama, she got bigger fish to fry. I'm like, what bigger fish? It's not Ferris Street. You have not put your focus on Ferris Street. You put your focus on your husband and Tambra's relationship. What other fish? What above drama? There's been no drama. You've been above at all. You've been voluntarily in drama, Letitia. You can miss me. So then, while everybody's talking about the success of Marie's clinic and that I wish the other girls would have stayed, would have been an open conversation about this, about that, and maybe we can get some things cleared up about you and Tambra, because the timeline that she and Tamara were both dating Damon around the same time at some point. But it's still kind of foggy though. Like, how is it that you and Damon were dating the same time him and Tamara was dating? They've been off and on for 16 years. They just became back into a serious relationship. So which timeline were you thinking about? And then she said that, oh wait, before that, Marie said that no man will admit that he was with another woman at the time that he was still with another woman. He won't do that. And the decorator said, I mean, I feel as though it's not even him, it's her because she was engaged at one point, and I think that she's trying to make Damon out to be the bad guy. I said, wait a minute. How did you know she was engaged? Did anybody else know that Tamara was engaged? Did we know? How do you know? So then after this bomb she just dropped, then she gets up and leave. Like, okay, I'm gonna go. Thank you for inviting me. I'm like, Akeisha said exactly what you did. You came for your moment. You came to confront Tamara, and you did exactly that. You wasn't being supportive. You wanted camera time. You wanted your moment, and this is exactly what it was. How you gonna just sit for a few minutes and drop a bomb and leave? Taisha, goodbye. You wanted your moment on TV. You got it. So Marie did not know everything about Tambra and Taisha. I don't believe her. And Letitia wish she would have known about the invite because she would have put it off on game. But I feel like, what you mean? You always put them up on game. Why would this be a time where you did, Letitia? You were completely shocked. Were you really shocked that Tamara was engaged? So then she makes a comment that no matter what's going on, Marie and Latrice always makes a way for her to show up. It's funny though, Letitia, how you want people to show up for you, but the way you've been acting towards your friendship with Tambra, I don't think you've ever been there for her. But we're gonna move on from that. So Latrice has been staying at her brother's house all week because her and Cliff have not been on the same page. They've been bumping heads a lot, especially with this baby thing, right? She's never been a part of her husband more than 24 hours. And the fact that she was gone for a week means that it's really, really bad. But she wants him to understand it's my body, it's my choice, and he needs to respect that. Now, the whole thing about the baby thing. Now, she wants to get to a place where she has everything she wants, her career, her business, everything is in really good standing to her to feel comfortable and say, now I want a baby. But her brother said sometimes people think like that. They want their career to be in a much better financial standpoint. And once they reach that peak, they'll be in their late 40s or early 30s, late 40s to say, now I want to have a baby. And it could be too late by then. Now, there's no perfect age to have a child, but you do have to remember the risk of having a child late in the game as your age gets older, it will be harder. But at some point, she wants to have a family, she wants to do this and that, but she doesn't want to be pushed into what society wants for her to do. And she does admit that Cliff is controlling. He wants her to be Susie Homemaker, barefoot and pregnant, and that's not what she wants to be. She wants to have her own. She wants to be independent, have her own mind, her own identity. And I will never step into that Stepford wife role. Never. And her brother said, you need to talk to him. You guys need to have a conversation, sit down, and talk about it. Because at the end of the day, it is your choice. And she wants her choice to be respected. Now, I feel like, why is it this such a hard thing for him to understand? Was at some point when you guys were dating, were you dancing around the possibility of having a child and you wanted to wait and he agreed, hopefully you would change your mind? Is that what it was? Because right now, you don't want to have a child, which is totally fine, Latrice. It is, please, I understand. I do. It's okay if you don't want to have a child, but for your husband to still think that at some point it's going to just happen automatically for you, you're going to just tap into that baby fever, that nurturing mother role. No, you're never going to do it because being a mother is not in the cards for you. It's not a dream of yours, and that is totally fine. Maybe that should have been a conversation before you guys got married because right now it's a test of will your marriage even survive if you don't have children. What would that lead to? But you do need to let you do need to stand your ground and let him know. And if he gives you your answer, then that lets you know where he stands. But you guys do need to have a conversation. Moving on. Akeisha is holding a luncheon with the stakeholders of Jackson, Mississippi. She invited the who's to showcase her ideas about Fair Street. Now, she did invite all the ladies, and she'll make sure that everybody's comfortable and that the plates are clean. Letitia comes in of support because even though she was the one who brought the Fair Street project to the table, to the idea of it, and she will always support it, you know what I'm saying? And as soon as she walked in the luncheon, she automatically felt as though it was a clone of her brunches. Oh, Akeisha trying to be like me. This looks just like my brunches, but I'm not gonna sweat it. I'm a queen, and a queen will never get dethroned. I'm like, listen, Letitia, your brunches are cute, but Akeisha's brunches have more people that we've never seen before. They have more of an ambiance, more of, a presentation that is like engaging, inviting. What you got, it wasn't much. And I don't know why you're trying to make it seem as if it's a competition between you and Akeisha. To me, it's a competition in your head based off of what Akeisha brought to the table that it took her one season to do, and you're still trying to bring it in your second season. Sure. Marie's coming to support the event after Akeisha left her event, and she felt the way about Akeisha leaving her event. Marie, in the beginning of the season, you have abruptly left Letitia's event without any explanation. Made her feel away. And I don't know why you feel away that Akeisha left your event when she explained herself why she left your event, and you should have been understanding of that. See, how is it that it's okay for people to be understanding of you, but you can give the same courtesy to someone else? Really, Marie, that one time you had a revelation of how you were validated in your feelings, you feel as though now my feelings are the only ones should matter and nobody else does. Okay. Um, and then Latrice came in and gave it to Akeisha. Everything was beautiful. The food, the flowers, the decor, everything. Tamara comes through even though she is tired of talking about Taisha. I'm tired of it. So then Akeisha gives her speech that she's from Jackson, Mississippi. Even though she's been gone for 25 years, she's back and she wants to bring back Fair Street, talking about how Fair Street used to be a plantation. Her family was a part of that plantation for over 100 years, but we're not going to focus on the negative, focus on the positive of bringing back entrepreneurship, civil rights, entertainment, sports, and political activism. And she even had a PowerPoint presentation, the vision, the drawings of the buildings, and incorporating all the ladies' business. Goddess Links, Marie's Clinic, Letitia's Enterprises, everything. She incorporated all of the ladies in this dream of bringing back Fair Street, which was very nice of her to do. And I enjoyed Akeisha's presentation. I enjoyed how she was very clear about everything. She had everything all the way down to the T. And I'm like, Letitia, that is how you do it. That is how you get to the point. That is how you present an idea. Because every time you present an idea, it never comes through. It never comes out. It gets muddled up in mess. We never get the message. This was a message. Um, and I enjoyed it. Claps up for her. You know what I'm saying? And even though it was Letitia's idea, but it's amazing how Akeisha took something that Letitia wanted to do and executed faster than she did. It's crazy. Again, we will give credit that Letitia was the one who brought the idea, but Akeisha ran it. Like I said, Akeisha was a woman of her word. She took action. Marie congratulated on her hard work, but she has to mention that Letitia was the one who brought the idea. So then Marie and Letitia spoke to Tamara about why did she leave so abruptly and mostly trying not to confront Taisha. Wasn't about to deal with that. And then they go back and forth with Marie didn't know. She know the full extent, this and that, and third. Tamara didn't know that there was even a situation to talk about because she hasn't spoken to her in 5 years. And all she does is lie that I've never had something with this. I've never did that with him. We've never had a relationship. So it came confusing that while Marie didn't know about the whole situation, why did you leave? Tamara was like, I don't know why I stayed. I don't want to stay with a woman who lies. That's what I'm not about to do. And y'all could have had a full grown conversation. It's funny how Marie wants to now say you could have a full grown conversation with all season. She didn't want to have full grown conversation with Latrice, arguing in the woman's bathroom. miss me. And again, it's just wanting Marie to make sure that she wasn't blamed for bringing Taisha to the event. But I still place you being messy though, Marie, because we've never seen her in any events you've ever thrown, and she's been your event planner for all these years. Got it. And Tamara wasn't about to engage in that. Now I wish Tamara would have been like, okay, what you got to say, girl? Because at the end of the day, whatever you had with him, it was over. It's done. I'm with him now. So what's your point? I wish that would have been the conversation. Because what did Taisha do? Tasha had her moment and it was gone. I wish Tam wouldn't have given it to her. That's what I wanted. So, but they congratulated Akeisha on the success. Everything was great and everybody could benefit from it. And the fact that everybody could benefit from it, Tisha realized it's not about them, it's about everybody. Marie, right now, she's on her mission to find her mother. She is frantic, going crazy. Her mom's been missing for 2 weeks. So she teams up with Essie and Letitia to find her. Now, she was staying clean, but the addiction got to her, you know? And right now, she's going through the projects, all these trap houses, and it's just like, wow. And Marie wasn't afraid. She was just walking up to these trap houses, not caring about her own safety. She wants to find her mom. She finds her mom, and you can tell her mom is strung out. Her mom is on that stuff. And she's like, Mom, where you been? Where you been? I'm in here. I was at my boyfriend's house. I'm fine. I'm fine. But she didn't like that Marie came with the camera crew. She said, why you got these cameras out here? Well, I want you to come. Come with me. Come with me. I'm not getting that truck. Listen, I'll get in that truck. You drive off. Give me $30. No, how about you meet me at Diane's house? Meet me at her house. Okay, I'm gonna be there. Be there in 20 minutes. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Now she's already looking edgy because the cameras are out there. They can find the location of where they at. She doesn't want to be kicked out. She's worried about her safety as well. But Marie knew that her mom didn't want her there. And after 30 minutes, the production said, we gotta go. This is unsafe. We gotta go. So they left, knowing that her mom did not want her there. And she wishes that she would have grabbed her mom and took her kicking and screaming, but that didn't happen. So at this point, now that she found her mom, she wanted to help her mom. Her mom didn't want help. Marie's gonna just let her hands go. You know what I'm saying? My mom doesn't want help. And at this stage of her life, I'm not about to come over here no more and look for her. I can't help her. She doesn't want to help herself. And I get that, Marie. It sucks though when you putting all of your heart and care for another person who doesn't want to help themselves. It's like, why do you care? But that's the goodness in you. You care so much, but it's like, I can't care for you if you don't care for yourself. Realizing that this has been a lot, she realized that while being a mental health advocate, she never thought about herself. Never thought putting herself in therapy of all the things she's carrying the stress of her grandchildren, carrying the stress of raising her grandchildren because her son doesn't want to, carrying the strength of raising her own children without Cedric's help. A lot is on her plate. So right now, I'm going to find a balance and make sure I'm thinking about me and focusing on me. And you should, Marie. You absolutely should. So Latrice is back home with Cliff. Apparently, Cliff was at work and he accidentally cut his arm and he almost sawed his arm completely off. And going through the hospital, Cliff was happy that she was there for him. It's that love that she got for him. Hearing that he almost cut his wrist off, that was terrifying because what if our last conversation was the last conversation? And the way that we left things, that would have made me upset. And he was at work, just doing what he normally does. And it's been the first time in 35 years that he ever cut himself. I was like, wow, man. So right now, just talking about how this was a, near-death experience for them to come together, talk, communicate, and how I want you to communicate with me. But the way you communicate, it comes off aggressive, and I don't want to combat with you with that because basically she's taking how he communicates and the way he communicates like he's chastising his child, the way he's yelling like a child. I'm not your child. I'm a grown woman. I'm your wife. I'm not your child. So I'm asking you to clarify what you're saying. You get loud. And I'm like, well, Latrice, you do have daddy issues. You married an older man who resembles who your daddy was. You call him Zaddy. So this man is literally embodying your father. I would say you need to stop and go to therapy and get rid of this daddy issues and not place the hurt from your father onto your marriage. And stop calling him Zaddy. It's uncomfortable, it's cringy. And of course, with the communication issue, you have to talk to me like I'm a regular person. And going back and forth about how you can get a word in, I can get a word in, but both of them overpower each other in a conversation. Both of them do. And basically, if I did not have you, if you did not get under my skin the way you did, I wouldn't have loved you. But basically, I'm willing to help you. I'm willing to be there for you. And then we get back to her being stressed out. Her period still has to come on. She did buy a pregnancy test. After all this time, you now decide to take a test. Why didn't you take a test the first time you noticed that your period wasn't coming on? Why didn't you go to the doctor? Why did you wait until this moment to now take a pregnancy test? So she took a test. It was negative. I know she was so happy it was negative, but he was disappointed. He wants her to have a child. He feel like she will be the most beautiful mother ever in the world. But Latrice don't want to have a child and talking about how next year she might be pregnant. No, she not. I'm sorry. She not. Latrice needs to be honest with herself that while she might have opened up the idea of having children when she was dating Cliff before they got married, I think at some point later in life she realized I don't want to have a child and she needs to tell him. Moving on. So Letitia is having couples counseling with Glenn to see if they can work their way back to one another. But basically she's still afraid. I don't want to take him back if he's going to be the same person. I want him to understand how it makes me feel. Now he realizes that the hurt he caused and how he never addressed things about his past, and that's why his family is together and what caused the divide. Basically, Letitia elevating, Letitia growing, Letitia becoming more confident, more independent of herself. To him, it made him think that she was moving on without him, that she didn't need him anymore, and he got scared. But he never took the time to communicate how it made him feel. He just acted on it. But like she said, I'm going to always continue to grow. I'm going to always continue to elevate, but I'm going to always need my husband. I'm going to always need him. I'm never going to not want him. But then he turns it around and makes her the bad guy that she didn't recognize that he was crying out for help. She said, when did you cry out for help? When was that? That he was going through depression of the hurt that he caused her, and that if it was you, I would have noticed it. I was like, Glenn, miss me. Miss me. Again, he wants someone else to be on his side about what he did and give him the okay, and that he don't have his support team. How can I support a man who cheated on his wife and possibly had a baby because you were depressed and never said nothing about it? I can't support that. Miss me. So now I'm forced to deal with my past and this and that and the third. And at the end of the day, Glenn, own up to what you did. Take responsibility, take accountability. How I wasn't able to deal with my emotions. As a man, I didn't cry, this and that. I'm like, miss me. And this is Letitia's problem. That I don't know if I'm being played with because while he's being open, he's telling me all these different feelings and emotions, but I don't know if I'm getting Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. What if I'm getting 5 different personalities from this man? And he's playing on how when there is a problem, I look for a solution. I hope that he's not using his depression to make me feel vulnerable for him and then I get swindled all over again. He's using my weakness against me and I want to be aware that's happening. So apparently the fact that she recognizes at this time, there have been multiple times that he's probably carried on this depression, carried on this, oh, woe is me, this pity party, and she has forgiven him and forgiven him. And he did the same thing again. So it's like, how can I know this time is different? Like, don't use that against me. And he shouldn't use that against her. Why is it that her elevating, her moving on now, being confident, is making you feel away? Probably because she's not the same 17-year-old girl you knew in high school and that she just depended on you on the oil rig. She's now, I think, an author. She's a reality TV star now. She's getting more attention. People want to get to know her more, and that's making you afraid that there'll be somebody else, or the attention is not going to be only on you. That's what I'm getting. So she was asked a question: does she love him? She does. Is she in love with him? That's the part. She is scared to hurt him based off of everything he's done to hurt her. And I won't let things slide. And if I did realize I was at a point that I was falling out of love with my husband, I would have figured it out. I would have stayed in and figured it out. And we would have gotten back together. I would have. But I don't want to move forward with you. And I am back in the bed with him. And then he hurts me the next day. I'm tired of being hurt. I'm tired. So she cries. He consoles her. And he gets upset. He gets emotional. Not upset. He gets emotional. And pretty much, this is the last straw. We're now developing trust. This is a new trust. And you need to work on not breaking this trust again. There's a lot of work to be done. She forgave him, thinking that maybe this time it will be different. Our marriage will work. But if he messes up again, we will divorce on sight. I hear you, Letitia. I hear you, but will you do it right away like you said? Or will you try to figure it out like you're doing now? We gonna see. We gonna see. So pretty much that was the end of the season. All the other ladies give their updates. Marie, it's been a hell of a year dealing with her mother's addiction, rumors about her business, but she overcame and will live her life and love her mom from a distance. And pretty much, the inspiration of her opening her opioid clinics. Sophia is revealing her billboard for her real estate business. Her fitness line is doing great. She's about to be a grandmother. Her family's growing closer. And JJ is always there for her. We did not tap into Sophia's fitness line. I wish that would have been shown more. Akeisha, it was showcasing her breaking ground on Fair Street and that this is the legacy of her family. I love that. Tambra. Tambra's moving on up with Damon, saying that people call our relationship fake. It's not real, but we're going to show them. Planning to have a baby and just, see where it goes. A ring is on the way. Latrice. Latrice's business is moving up. She is moving to her next location, and sky's the limit. Letitia. So she's packing up her mom's house. A lot has been moving forward with her. She's walking with purpose, and it showed the caption. She has moved back in with Glenn in hoping of her marriage moving forward. But dun dun dun. She just found out he's been messaging other women again. I said, oh my God, Glenn, you cannot wait. Your plan worked. You wooed her all the way till you got her in the house, and then bam, you did the same thing again. You will not change. You will not change. You will not stop having these impulsive decisions. And then we saw a sneak peek of the reunion trailer. They're going to have a Maury moment where Carlos will be reading off the DNA test results of Glenn possibly having another baby. Oh my God, what is this? Okay. Marie and Latrice going back and forth again. I'm like, wow, okay. My opinions on the second season of Belle Collective, I enjoyed it. Y'all brought it this season. I loved it. I was super excited. I was at the edge of my seat every time. I cannot wait for the reunion. But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.